Music history is filled with black geniuses. There's Jimi, MJ, Prince, Stevie, Pac, Drake. Just kidding, not Drake. Nina, Jay, Bay. Everyone knows these black icons, but what if there is another icon? What if the king of classic, Beethoven, was black? At the turn of the 20th century, British composer Samuel Coleridge-Taylor started to notice some physical similarities between him and Beethoven. Being mixed race himself, with a white mother and a black father, Taylor speculated that maybe Beethoven was also black. Having returned from the deeply segregated USA, Taylor jabbed that if the greatest of all musicians were alive today, he would find it impossible to obtain hotel accommodation in certain American cities. This is on account of the USA being, well, let's just say, deeply messed up at the time. In the 30s, black press began reporting on the possibility of Beethoven's blackness. This is likely where civil rights leaders such as Stokely Carmichael picked up on the idea. To a Seattle crowd, Carmichael said, "Beethoven was as black as you and I, but they don't tell you that." Malcolm X also voiced a similar idea, claiming that Beethoven's dad was one of the blackamoors that hired themselves out in Europe as professional soldiers. Rolling Stone magazine even published a story in 1969 which was headlined, "Beethoven was black and proud." In 2007, Nadine Gordimer published a series of short stories titled "Beethoven was 1/16 Black." But was Beethoven really black? If proof is in the pudding, there might not be enough here for dessert.
"But Mom, it's a Jell-O pudding pop snack." She said, "Fine."
Evidence is hard to come by. The entire claim relies on the belief that Beethoven's Flemish ancestors married Spanish Moors of African descent. That or Beethoven's mother had an affair. But it's not like this comes out of nowhere though. Beethoven was a bit of a black sheep to his contemporaries, which frequently called out his dark complexion. Some going as far as saying he looked swarthy. His nickname at school was the Spaniard. Prince Anton called him a Moor, and that is coming from this guy, who is probably the whitest person in world history. Clearly, Beethoven's race wasn't so black and white. The truth is that those who were trying to paint Beethoven black weren't really making a scientific or historical claim. The civil rights refrain of "Beethoven was black" served more as a metaphor, as an exercise in reimagining the canonical way of thinking. Had Beethoven been black, would he have been classed as a canonical composer? And what about other black composers lost to history? We all know about Beethoven, but what about his brilliant friend George Bridgetower? Bridgetower, an Afro-European, was a genius musician in his own right. Beethoven dedicated a violin sonata to him, a piece so difficult that many just gave up learning it. Had Bridgetower shared the complexion of his good friends and contemporaries, Haydn and Beethoven, would more people know him today? We don't have to pretend that black is white. Today, the refrain "Beethoven was black" is less about 23andMe and more a reminder to celebrate lesser-known black composers. At worst, "Beethoven was black" is a white lie. It should remind us of the many geniuses who deserve a listen or two. Why not add the likes of Samuel Coleridge-Taylor, or George Bridgetower, or Edmund Dede, or Amanda Aldridge to your Spotify playlist? Exploring these lesser-known artists is worth the effort. What else are you gonna do? Listen to Beethoven's Fifth for the 5th time?